Hey guys. Sorry. Happy Monday. I just took a sip of this. Amy, this is a can, but really inside it's just water. Amy right now is giving me naughty hand gestures. So anyway, happy Monday, guys. This shirt drives me insane. Boy, did I have an odd day. Did you see my vlog from yesterday? And I know you guys are laughing, but seriously, I was so creeped out. So if you haven't read it yet, I'll summarize for you. Sorry. It's Monday, bad hair moment, getting ready to work out, so whatever. So yesterday I did what I've been needing to do for probably over a month, and that is, had a Sunday, wasn't downtown for work, I wasn't at some convention over the weekend for work. And I didn't have Mother's Day here. It's like my first Sunday that I actually had to myself. And I said, I am going to relax. And I left my boyfriend in the house, and I actually went out on my deck with the book. I actually finished 2 books yesterday. But I went out on my deck, and it was beautiful. It was actually really hot yesterday. It was so beautiful. And read my book. I just relaxed. Didn't work out yesterday, but just had a day without any commitments that I had to worry about or rushing anywhere. And it was nice. It was just what I needed. But then towards the end of the day, I don't even know when it was. It was probably around 5:30 or 6. I have this big wicker couch out there, and that's where I kind of lay down on my pillow, and I'm laying there and I read my book, right? The reason I'm telling you this is while I was out there, a lot of people ask me why I live in the suburbs. Well, I like living in the suburbs because I'm surrounded by trees, and there's usually peace and quiet unless we have some kind of psycho neighbor or dog issue. But I was out there and I took one picture, and I'm like, I put it up on my Posters feed and Facebook, whatever, and I'm like, this is why I love living in the burbs, look at the view from my deck. So then later, I'm laying on the couch and I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture, looking up at the trees. So I took a picture, and then all of a sudden I look over to the left and I see this pair of eyes staring down at me. And long story short, look at the video down below. But okay, at first glance, the eyes, it looked to me like a raccoon. And then I'm looking closer, and I take the video, and I'm sorry, but the body of this animal looked longer. It looked like a cougar, or like a lion, a mountain lion, or a hyena, or a dog, wild, like a combination of all of the above. And it was staring down at me. Like, it was not just looking around, and then it happened to see me and go, oh yeah, I see you. It was like looking at me, okay? And in between takes on that video, I was so freaked out that I ran inside, because I'm like, this thing is looking at me. And if it wanted to, it could just fly down. Who knows if it has wings or something. I didn't even know what it was. And everyone's like, oh, it's just a raccoon. Maybe it's a chupacabra. I don't even know what these animals are. And note to self, note to all of you, be very careful when you go on Google Images and look up things like monster or chupacabra. Let me just tell you, you're going to see things that you don't want to see before bedtime, okay? Some of you are going to listen to me and do it because you're a glutton for punishment. But let me tell you, you freak the hell out of yourself. So this animal up there, and it's way up in the tree, okay? But animals jump and fly and do stuff, okay? I'm not someone that knows the wilderness. And there was this small wee moment where I was actually like, this is where my ex-husband would come in handy, because he would be like, well, let me just get my bow and arrow out. He was someone who liked to be a hunter. I'm not even gonna say what I feel like saying right now. But anyway, so this thing is up there, and it's just staring at me, okay? I'm not used to seeing raccoons in the day. Everybody on Twitter is half making fun of me, half saying, call animal control. Well, no animal control is around on Sundays. And I was just so freaked out, and I was getting ready to go do a power walk. I wanted to just go for a really long walk, and I'm looking up at this thing, and I'm like, and I'm kidding you not, I'm not even exaggerating. I came inside, okay, because it was creeping me out, because I thought, I'm gonna be standing there shooting this video, and he's gonna jump down on me and then be rabid teeth all over me and eating me alive. So then I come inside and I look at my window, okay, so if you guys can see, I'm pointing, he's that way, right? My deck is out there. I come in, I look at the window, he's looking down at me in the window. So he's following me, he's stalking me like an animal stalking. I was so creeped out, and I'm like, I'm not gonna walk outside. He's probably gonna see oh wow, she's outside. Let me just go run up to her and give her some rabies. Okay, so now every time I go out on my deck, I'm like, that was my day yesterday. Anyway, it's Monday. We're gonna have a great week. I'm actually not traveling anywhere this week. And let me just do this, because I'm very, very happy about it. Mr. Flo, Steve, how's it going? That's all I'm gonna say. But everything's going really, really great. Again, you know, the whole eat thing has really just changed my whole, just overall, like my whole way of eating. And guys, I just want to kind of like go back and let some of you know that might be like new to the blog and not understanding why this way of eating has really set well with me, is, you know, I was looking on my Kindle, right? One of the books that, I think the first book that really started to make things make sense to me, was that Bethany, whatever, I don't know what her last name is, but she wrote Naturally Thin. And I heard about that from Squig. And, you know, the whole concept of that book is, you know, kind of again, it's like, you know, you can, I love this one phrase she says in there, you can have anything you want, just not all at once. And again, so many of us are so focused on diet and exercise, but the psycho dieting, where you think you can only have, you know, boring, bland food, no butter, no creams, no dairy, no carb, all these different rules, right? And you're just constantly denying yourself something. And for many of us, some people excel on that, okay? Jihani out in Australia, I'm gonna reference her. She actually like lives for that stuff. She would love nothing better than to have a broccoli milkshake in the morning, okay? Some people do very well on this, but for some folks like me, we go psycho. We just tend to like, you know, go one extreme or the other, and when you're not having results, then you fall off the wagon and, you know, you're going to Krispy Kremes and like, having a special moment with them, and then you're feeling bad about that. You know, it's just this up and down roller coaster. And for me, I felt like I'm doing all this work, all this energy, eating only, you know, tilapia and broccoli and protein shakes and oatmeal, and I wasn't seeing the results. I mean, if you guys look back at my blog over the past year, you know, and there was a lot of stuff going on. You know, I had a lot of medical issues. I wasn't working out consistently, yada, yada, yada. But the bottom line is, then when I was working, or working with my trainer or working with Jenny or whatever, I'm trying so hard to fit into like these rules in this mode, and then I'd have 16 other people telling me that's wrong, you shouldn't do this, those rules are wrong, and I felt like a ball being bounced back and forth between all of these different people and all these different opinions. And the bottom line is, I kept starting and stopping, and nothing was working. So when I saw that book by Bethany, it started to make so much sense. But for some reason, even though that made sense to me, I still didn't think I could do it. You know, and there was kind of like this fear of the unknown, that I couldn't do it. But reading this, I had to really look on here to see what the title was, The Secrets of Skinny Chicks book. And the title might sound to some of you, you know, that are figure competitors and such, like, I don't want to be a skinny chick, I'm not looking to get skinny. That's not really the point. I think she's just putting that as the title to say, you know, people that are not necessarily naturally thin, but that you see that are really in shape and that are in shape all the time. Excuse me, these, you know, you read this book and she'd interviewed like 25 different women of all ages, of all physical activity levels. And the bottom line is, across the board, no matter what they were eating, okay, so some of them were into the whole protein shake thing, some of them were into more like a vegetarian lifestyle, they were all working out consistently, and they were all keeping their calories, their overall calories, whether they did a cheat day once a week or whatever, their calories were generally under 1,500 calories or 1,200 calories a day. And this is girls, I hate to say girls, you know, women that are 21, 22, women that are 45, 50. So it's like, regardless of the fact, what your age, how much you're working out, it still is the amount of calories that you're taking in. It's regardless if you're low carb, low fat, high carb, high fat, whatever it is that you're doing, Mediterranean, Atkins zone, at the end of the day, it is calories in, calories out, and it does have to do with, if you're not seeing results and you're doing kick butt in the gym, then there's something wrong with your diet, and it's usually that it's too much. It's not like, oh, I had 45% carbs and not 50. I've got to go to vlog number 2 again.